Yo, yet again. What's up? Good morning, guys. Hey, Eli. Hey, Bridgewater. I hope you all had a lovely Canada Day yesterday. Yes. Proud Canadian. On guard for thee. I hope you guys are good. Hope life treats you well. And you choose to write code not because you can, but because you want to. Hi, Tannerax. Hey, Bert. Good morning. Hello, Lucifer on YouTube. I've not had coffee yet, so I really want to slurp this down and then, yeah, just get back into it. I dare you to use my language instead of C. Chad Sec, what is your language? Just drip, yeah, nothing fancy. Just drip because I'm basically a coffee junkie. Holy Lang? Is this like Holy C? Oh god, it's so hard to type with the nails. More secure than Rust, but not as performant as Rust. Okay, I see. I like the keyword own. It's kind of possessive, like in a sexy way. But it also reminds me of what is it, Pascal? Where the variable names are what they're like what mine or my or something like that, the keyword for private variables, and then like for global variables it's our. Write a game in D. I don't know. Code in Spanish or French, please. No. Make sure you get some food in it today. Acting like a bitch to everybody. Ah, yeah, cool. You know what? You're absolutely right. Oops. There we go. YouTube comments getting spicy. Imagine going to somebody and they're in a good mood and be like, you say this mean thing to them and they're like, hey, let me say this mean thing to you and don't be upset about it. Like, nah, you're out of here, buddy. Hey, Springo Geek. Good morning. The weather today. Okay, so the weather this week in Campview is insane. Yesterday, we had a high of like 37 or something. But with the humidity and stuff, the weather app said it felt like 47. I was like, It was so hot that my girlfriend's air conditioning stopped working. Like it tripped the breaker. That's how hot it was outside. It kept tripping the breaker on her AC. But yeah, I think next week is supposed to be a lot better. Yeah, guys, let's be nice. Let's be nice to each other. Unless I'm cranky, and then I'll be cranky on stream, but it'll be fine because this is my stream. I get to do whatever I want. Am I afraid of AI taking my job? No. Yeah, it's supposed to cool off in a couple days. The only problem is that Tin Can View when Tin Can Vev, when you visit, because we had such hot days this week, there's a pretty good chance in the next week or two we're gonna have like raging forest fires in the country. And when we do have these raging forest fires, the smoke plumes kind of like envelop Toronto. So, yeah, the air quality can get quite bad, unfortunately. So if you're sensitive, my recommendation would be to go to Canadian Tire, pick up a few like 3M masks. They don't have to be like respirators. I usually buy the loose fitting like they're still N95, but they're like the loose fitting like dust and smoke masks. That's usually what I wear around town when there's smoke. Why is there a book on your hat rack? Because I want everybody to know about it. That's why. Raging forest fire, not a chill forest fire, just a raging one. Hello, Johnny Cage. Good morning. Just don't get a duckbill mask. You don't look cool. Yeah, I've always got some of those masks in my cupboard now, just in case, because I can't deal with it. Like I notice it immediately before I even check the weather. I'm just I'm like so sensitive to it with like asthma and stuff. What's my skincare routine? Moisturizer. That's it. I didn't even really moisturize this morning. I just put on my under eye serum and some a little bit of eye makeup. Would a COVID mask work? No, because those are flu masks, right? A flu mask is not like filtering. You need something that's filtering because you're breathing in PM 10 and PM 2.5 particulate matter when you're in like forest fire smoke. Like it's like especially the PM 10 is like really really bad for your lungs. Like you can yeah, it's really bad. I remember the first time I experienced the forest fire smoke. I was just kind of like up late coughing. I just couldn't stop coughing. So learn that through COVID. Learn what through COVID? Hey Wunk. Hey Hand Owl. Is it normally this hot? No. Oh god no. Next week it's gonna be like nice and normal again. Any tips to know your passion in programming? Uh Not really. I really liked programming when I was a kid. I was like always fascinated with computers, so I can't really speak to anybody else's like passion or whatever because I've just kind of always had it, right? So I've always been obsessed. Are you naturally blonde? No, these are highlights. You can actually kind of see my natural color growing in a bit on the top now. I need to go get more highlights in like 2 months. I don't know why she booked them in 2 months for August because That's pretty far away. Hey, Leland. Good morning. Why no Rust? I'm not really a fan of writing Rust. I don't think it's a very particularly fun programming language to write. The language ergonomics itself are like okay, right? Like I don't mind the Rust syntax. It's just the borrow checker's kind of annoying and lifetimes are pretty annoying, so I just don't really have fun writing it. That's all. Like your natural color, but why do you color roots? What? I feel like I heard another programming streamer say it's not fun to write Rust on stream. Well, I've never tried writing it on stream, but for another 200 subs, maybe I'll write Rust on stream. Can I say you're the most beautiful streamer I've seen today? Yes, because you're not wrong. Hell yeah, nailed it. The burrow checker. The burrow checker. Yeah, I have an East Coast Canadian accent, so sometimes I talk like a drunk sailor, okay? That's how it is. Hey T2, what's up? Hello, Endeka 2020. Should I have a Rust goal? Is that one people want? Late lunch is up? Oh. Did I watch Silicon Valley? Yes, I watched Silicon Valley so much it's not funny anymore. Like I've overwatched it, you know? Do I know how to code in C++? It has been a long time since I coded in C++. Actually, I was looking at some of my old C++ code from like 12 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. And it is not good. I tried to write games in C++ with SDL, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing at all. And it's pretty funny to see the code. Overwatch? What about Overwatch? Yeah, it was yeah, bad code. Some bad code. All my old C++ code. I self-learned coding. So I was self-taught as a kid, like from books and stuff. And then I went to school for computer science after I graduated high school. Hmm. Good morning, Snowman. How are you? Sorry, I'm guzzling this coffee because I haven't had one yet today. I woke up late. I'm a little hungover from Canada Day shenanigans. I know distributed systems, consensus protocols and stuff. I know a little bit about that stuff. Like, I used to work at a place that was really into distributed systems theory, so we had like a microservice architecture and all this message passing and message bus type stuff going on. Consensus protocols, I've only ever heard of consensus protocols used in like database and databases basically. Database replication. Like databases, so some databases, particularly relational databases, will use consensus protocols to know when all of the databases in the cluster should commit something, right? So usually if you have like a highly available Postgres or MySQL or whatever it is, right? You're going to use a consensus protocol to know like what to commit to memory. Just ate a beast of a breakfast. Nice. I have a breakfast sandwich beside me. I'm gonna dig into here in a bit. Postgres mentioned. Marker on census protocols. Why you count my gnome sands, dog? What are you taking a gnome census? Hanging on Python? Python's I I don't mind Python. Done some projects in Python. I think um I think if you're building like developer tooling, you might have a easier time with like Go or something. Just because like I don't know. I always enjoyed Go over Python. I don't mind Python. I used to be a DevOps person and I would use Python sometimes for projects. I think I like one thing I think I wrote in Python was like a database backup tool that would like after backing up a database, it would also copy the database backup to another like region, not region, another zone in AWS, right? Because every region has zones. So we didn't want all our backups in like one region and one zone. We wanted to like scatter them in case there was an emergency. And then they scrapped that project because data transfer between zones is really expensive. So we kind of blew our AWS budget for a month, which is funny. Can I tell you a joke? No. Chicken, eggs, corn, and olive oil. Interesting. That sounds pretty good. Do I recommend building a relational database from scratch? I can't answer that. I think databases are really interesting. It's kind of a project that I've also been curious about building. And if I'm curious about building a project, that means it's probably really hard and probably really worth it, I would say. Only really like hard projects super I find super interesting now. Like games. Games can be super hard or not very hard, but very hard if you're tired, like I was on Tuesday. Hey Footlong. But yeah, like a project like that, a database, yeah, definitely sounds interesting. Um, give it a shot. Why don't you? Yeah, just do it. Just go for it. Come up with a query language and a query planning and all that. Blah blah blah. Web browser written in Clojure. Oh my god. Yo, Footlong, thanks for the 6 months of tier 1 to T2. Oh hey, Captain Coder, what's up? Highly recommend build your own database from scratch and go by James Smith. That is, yeah, that's an interesting idea. How much time have I been writing C? Well, I'm really rusty. C was the first programming language I actually learned as a youth. And then I did a little bit of C in high school when I was doing like hacky type stuff. And then a little bit more in university. When I say school in that context, I mean high school. And then, yeah, in university, they had a machine level programming class. So I did C there. But basically, I haven't done C since, I don't know, yeah, university probably. It's been a while. I've already follow you on Twitch and YouTube. Recommend Oh, and YouTube recommended your channel. That I didn't know that you have one. Now I'm following on both platforms. Awesome. Thank you, Delton. Both MySQL and Oracle certified for what it's worth. Nice. Footlong, have you ever tried to create a database though? That's the real question. Yes. Oh, okay. What's today's goal? It's the same goal as last time, but I'm not a crabby bitch, allegedly. I want to read the tile layer information and render it. Add you on GitHub? I mean, yeah, you can if you want. Go follow me. I don't really check GitHub that much unless I'm doing client work, because that's where, you know, every commercial project still is, despite GitHub having 0 nines of availability. So, yeah, this is an interesting question. I don't like letting AI do everything for me. I actually like programming, but I do think AI is a much better like Google replacement. Like I'm definitely talking with Claude if I want to know about the API of like some library or whatever it is, right? Yeah, basically I use AI as a Stack Overflow replacement. Yeah, some people think I'm like ardently anti AI, but that's not true. Like I do use it. I use it on stream actually. I just don't like it for coding, and I think it's leading to kind of like a level of like brain rot that's happening. I'm seeing a lot of like things in the industry right now that literally would have made people curl their toes like 10 years ago, right? So, yeah. I do feel bad for Stack Overflow though, because like they spent all that time building that like social capital and like all that knowledge capital, right? And Stack Overflow. And then these AI companies just kind of came in and like sucked up, like scraped the entirety of the website and put it in their training model. Like nobody uses Stack Overflow now. I mean, sometimes Stack Overflow is actually pretty good for finding like weird niche knowledge. Still, I definitely have found some solutions on Stack Overflow still, but not nearly as much as I used to. I heard Fable 5 is back, but it's going to redirect all coding questions to Opus 4.8, so it's just kind of a waste, honestly. And then Sonnet 5 is also like basically this is the same benchmarks as Opus 4.8, so hello there, huh? No closure today? No, we've been writing C for the past like what, week or so? Some interesting AI mining related cases in our district. Have a look if when you get bored. Yeah, like I've been kind of keeping my eye on the like copyright situation because I'm like, there's no way some of what they're doing isn't derived works. It's just not possible, right? In terms of like copywriting and stuff, there's just no way this isn't a derived work in my mind, right? And I think a lot of what people are doing, well, a lot of what AI companies are doing is this narrative that, oh, it's like training a human, it's like training a human, but it's actually not at all like training a human, right? And if the courts let these AI companies just like continue to suck up like everybody else's data, like you will never be able to make money on the internet ever again, right? Like if I have a copyrighted work, if I sell a book online and Mark Zuckerberg is allowed to take that book and put it in training data, uh like how's that's like very clearly a derived work, right? Humans rule. Not like training a human. Yeah, but like the narrative that they're trying to craft, right, is that this is gonna like replace humans, and it's like humanity, it's like humans, it like every like every set, every like basically narrative around LLMs and AI is that it's like very human like, but it's pretty far from it, right? Like grow a brain in a jar and then put that brain in something and have it act like a baby for 20 years. Not 20 years, but you know what I mean. Like you have to go through the stages of human development. I'm just like way too sketchy. Or sketchy. I'm way too sketched out, I guess. I want to be able to copyright all of the data I make online or put out. It should be your own. Yeah, I mean like that's just like the basics of intellectual property ownership, right? Like the United States is actually like founded on this premise of intellectual property ownership, right? If you can't create digital IP ownership in the United States anymore, you basically have feudalism again, right? Just on the internet. Because that's what it was like before the United States, the US Revolution, and all that stuff. Uh, in places like England, you would have like feudal lords and stuff. And if you created something, then your feudal lord owned it, right? So this is why like the US became like the hub of innovation for like the world for like 200 years or something insane like that. It's because they protected the intellectual property ownership of the creators. You don't use AI that will tell you you're not productive and kick you out. If you use it, will you use it? Will lose have fun having fun while coding? Use your skills and abilities. What should we do now? Just like fake it. Like, and besides, we're seeing the full circle of this where people are spending like millions of dollars on tokens, and they're like, oh, actually, maybe we shouldn't be using AI. So you are a business, literally. Well, I think like individuals, even employees, should think of themselves as a business, right? Um, I don't think you're gonna get kicked out for not using AI. I think there are cases where you could use AI effectively, and you don't always have to use AI. I don't know. I'm not using like AI agents to do all this ridiculous shit in my clients' code bases. Will I use it to do like whip up a form because I'm like kind of bored of making forms in Clojure or something? Yeah, sure. Oh, it just got very quiet in here because the dehumidifier turned off. Hey, Nani. Oh man, it's almost 10 o'clock already. This is good though. Your brain on ChatGPT. What projects are you doing for money? Well, I have my client work, and that's pretty much it. I wish I had. I am, I guess, my course, but course isn't really like programming. There's a little bit of programming. Yeah, good old programming. Nothing beats that. He is almost 11 on clock. Who, Dalton? Hey, Daniel. What's up? I'm an educator, so I see the brain rot happening with students. I've heard this actually from a lot of people. What's the longest time you can keep focused when coding? Good question. Am I enjoying C? What are my thoughts on it? Yeah, I've always liked C as a programming language for sure. Um, Courses related to your programming skills counted as programming. I'm basically teaching my skills, so watch werewolf trailer? No. Hate how it's called Fable, but they like totally nerfed it though. Like they always do. Take Spice recreationally. I'm using OpenGL. Vulkan? No. OpenGL, specifically WebGL, is something I want to get better at. Short circuit that so easily in general is not good for growth, skill gain. Yeah. Do I have a life purpose? Wow, that's deep. I wish I did. I don't have some overarching mission in life. I'm just kind of like programming and making things and hanging out with the people I love, I guess. I don't know. It's all very freeform. Version I have access to, which is third-party context engine. It's been an amazing and clear upgrade from Opus. Oh, all right, guys. I think it's about the time we jump in the software and game dev category and eat a breakfast sandwich, because that is the perfect category for eating sandwiches. So, woo! Wait, were we serious about a Rust stream? I'll do it. We just have to have a bunch of subs again because I don't really like Rust, so that one will be very expensive comparatively to C. Let me get some code leodes on screen. And I still haven't finished setting up my streaming user on this computer. So unfortunately, you're just going to see the builds when they're on the screen, when I put them on the screen. Sorry, guys. It's just, yeah, kind of something I need to carve out time for, and I just haven't yet. Because when I created a new user on my computer, now I've got to log into everything. I have to recreate my OBS scenes, all this stuff, right? I just basically have to rebuild my whole desktop, but only for certain things. Plus, I don't think Homebrew really works. You know, Homebrew, the macOS package manager thing. I don't think Homebrew really works when you have multiple users, because it changed the ownership of like /opt/homebrew. Rust is for heretics. Hang on. Ugh. Gotta have Tabasco. Should I turn my camera off for this? Is anybody gonna freak out because I'm eating a breakfast sandwich? No? No objections? Forever hold your peace? Homebrew is single user on Porpoise. I see. That really sucks. Follow you because you have a big bottle of Tabasco. Awesome. I like Tabasco sauce, so... And now you get to see me eat the Tabasco sauce. Do I work out? Yes, actually. I was planning to go to the gym after this. I just do the exercise cycle, though. It's pretty good. It's like egg, spinach, tomato, avocado on a Montreal everything bagel. And then I put Tabasco on it, which makes it even better. Three? Okay. I don't know if you can really have a shared user on macOS. Yo, Footlong with the 10 gift subs. Thank you. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Shrimp. Good morning. Sorry, I'm just having hangover breakfast this morning. Yeah. Typically, I never share my computer with somebody, but I need to share it with myself, I guess. My streaming self. Hmm. For the big weekend? Oh yeah, it's Independence Day weekend this weekend, isn't it? For Americans. Well, if this game ever makes it to market, I will make a Mac build. How's that sound? The crux of eating a sandwich like this is it kind of falls apart by the end. It's sus that Canada Day is super close to American Independence Days. Honestly, it was probably like 100% intentional. The actual like premise of like British North America was to have a British federated state or a federated state loyal to the British that stand in opposition to the Americans. I think like the governor general of Lower Canada before it was a country, the colony of Lower Canada or Upper Canada or something said that. But the real reason was because Britain was experiencing some financial difficulties and they were like, that Canada, they should pay for their own defense. That was it. That was basically, yeah, it was kind of just it was just kind of like timing, partially. Depending on who you ask, some people would say most of the Canadian national identity in politics kind of just stands in opposition to like America, as in Canadians define their like national identity as not Americans, despite living an overwhelmingly American way of life. What was for brekkie? Oh, it was a breakfast sandwich. I gotta take my meds, guys. So if you would just bear with me for a moment instead of being mean in the comments about it. I feel really bad for anybody visiting Toronto right now because it's just so hot and gross and humid. You can't escape the humidity. About their French. Yeah, there's a little bit of French. Before Quebec was Quebec, it used to be called Lower Canada. Not because it's lower geographically, but because they were seen as lower class. Canada Day, a floater of sorts? No, it's always on July 1st. That's why it was in the middle of the week. You're using Raylib? Yeah. I'm using GBDK 2020 since I have a Game Boy Color and a flash cartridge. Dude, that's so cool. I really wish I had a Game Boy Color. Like an atomic purple Game Boy Color. That's what I had when I was a kid. I loved it so much. I don't know what happened to it. I just got lost over the years. I thought about buying a brand new one in box, but they cost like $1,000, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $1,000 on nostalgia. Game Boy Color is great. What a great little console. And then the Game Boy Advance was also awesome. Yeah, those handhelds from childhood are just like terrific. Modern Vintage Gamer, MVG, he has some great videos on how graphics worked on the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, if you're curious. Alright, I'm gonna take this and then we'll get coding. Get into the codeliodes. Alright, Jooms. I think we're ready. Only rich kids had Game Boy? Dude, I was not a rich kid. I will tell you that right now. Pretty much the only like toy that I had and cared about as a kid was a Game Boy. That's it. I did not. Yeah. Actually, Game Boys were the not wealthy option because the Atari Lynx and like the Sega Game Gear, they were like twice as expensive as the Game Boy. Game Boy was cheaper than than its competition, like both the Game Boy, Game Boy Color. I don't know about the Advance, but they were cheaper than their competition because they used older like parts. They use slower like parts. Really? In my country, it was anything that wasn't Chinese crab was expensive. Wait, shrimp, aren't you from the UK? I guess like consoles didn't really like take off very well in the UK though, because it was almost always about from your Eastern Europe. Okay, that's very different then. Yeah, because you would have been like you would have lived in Eastern Europe in like the Soviet bloc. Did you live in the Eastern? Did you live on the other side of the Iron Curtain? Because if you did, that makes a lot more sense. Game Boy plus Pokemon, the best. Yeah. Buy for you in Germany and send it to you. Ah, I see. Yeah. That makes sense. Popular in Asia than official consoles. Atomic Purple was drip in the play yard. Sony PlayStation came out. Yeah. Yeah. I live in Canada. So we just had everything that the Americans had. Although we're like poorer than Americans, so makes sense of that. Hi. Yeah, so basically I was thinking I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. Um in this code base. I mean, I kind of have an idea. God, I was looking at my C++ code from years ago and it was so bad. Maybe I can take you guys through it at some point. I think that might be kind of fun. How bad the code was. Just like I did not understand how to like structure and design a game very well. No, this was bad because like my entities didn't really have like components, so they were like, yeah, it was rough. It was rough, and I didn't understand the physics I was doing, so basically I just had an entity that would like kind of bounce up and down because it was like a spring damper system, but it should have just been like very simple, velocity times delta time or whatever. Singapore has strict piracy laws, but Singapore is different because it's a first world country, I guess. Yeah. Old code. Why now do I change the language to C? Because people paid me to, and last when I was into this project that you see on screen, I was actually having a lot of fun with it for a while. The non-archetypes ECS, I don't know what that means. Um, but it's probably a very typical ECS. Just like I just have like arrays of components. Also, what I'd like to do is get rid of this. I really want to put this junk right here into the play state proper. I don't really know how to do that without breaking things. So I got to figure that out. But yeah, I'd like to put this in here. I mean, maybe I should do that now. I don't know. So if I got these like nil things. Tried it before. It didn't really go very well though. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Welcome to the stream. It's like, oh yeah, it didn't go very well. Proceeds to do it immediately again. Okay. That's nice. So then maybe I can just do a cheeky little replace string on input components. And replace it with, I call it PS all throughout the state here. Yes. Mostly. Yes, input components. I might have to assign them to, because like I don't know if this works. This is a pointer and we downcast, then we access it. Maybe it works, I don't know. Play string, physics components. I don't think this is gonna work. For some reason I feel like this is just not going to work. Okay. Oh right, this is the problem I was having right here. Was actually accessing the array. It wasn't the embedding the pointers in the struct. It was accessing the arrays like this. So what I think I need is like an actual other pointer to be able to do this right here. Or maybe I just need to like wrap this in like parentheses. That makes sense. I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Case of Scarjo using... suing OpenAI. I thought that was a typo, saying using OpenAI. Somewhat assists with spelling in Janetta versus the double pointer. Double pointers. Render components, which I hate. Why didn't I call them graphics components? Oops. Shit. Hit the wrong button because my nails are way too long. Render components. Yes, render components. God, my girlfriend got me all nostalgic last night. We were having a couple drinks on our deck and we were talking about programming. And she reminded me of all this like Objective-C stuff that I forgot about, like from years and years ago. Just talking about what it was like to be a programmer in like 2011. How like exciting everything felt. What's more evil? Probably untyped void pointers, I would say. Are there entities that access the input component for it to be a whole array, or is it only the player? Right now, it's only the player. So it probably makes sense to have some kind of null input component at some point. But I'm just trying not to overthink it right now. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's empty. And sometimes in other entities, I use the input components. So, but you're right. Yeah, right now the only input component that's being used is the player's input component. And I'm sure this is gonna blow up. So let me try and make it. Yeah. Yeah, this is the error I kept getting. Cannot assign variable PS with const qualifier type. Oh, that's why. Yeah, this should not be const. That doesn't even make sense. When I upcast or downcast, I shouldn't be doing const. Yeah, that's probably why it doesn't work. It also doesn't even make sense to make it const because we're doing stuff. We need to keep track of the state. Oh, okay. Yeah, that worked. Great. Oh, I don't have my controller. I'm gonna have to go get that, I think. Amazing. All right, I just eliminated some tech debt. I like that. That's good. I'm also gonna put the tiles in here. Bam. And that's not null. Assume they're null by default, but in the constructor, maybe I'll just go set them all to null. Can I do that? Or is it just like null by default? Well, it's probably whatever's in memory by default. Oh, oops. I made too many changes. This needs to be PS. PS this, PS that. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Alright, I'm going to go null it out because it's probably good practice to do that. Instead of just overriding whatever junk memory was there. And the reason these are null is because they are dynamic arrays managed by STB, so it's totally fine for that to be there like that. What software do I use to make art for my games? Right now I've been using Aseprite. Aseprite? I think it's pronounced Asperite because it's like aspiration and sprite. And the good aspiration, like aspirations, not, you know, the verb, which would be aspirating, as in like, yeah, don't want to be doing that. We want to aspire. Aspire the adjective, not the verb. Wait, aspire is a verb. Yeah, this is the thing. Okay, never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm thinking of like aspirate and then aspire. But aspiration, which is the adjective, can mean you have aspirations or you just like vomited into your own lungs. So wow, very different for the same word. Global memory is guaranteed to be 0, but good practice to init it anyways. Thanks, Osmos. Or almost 61. Could be both versions. Yeah. I think aspiration is a noun. Is it? Well, I've been reading tiled data graphics Gurunt. I've been trying to read in tiled data from good old tiled, and that's what I want to figure out today for sure. Totally for sure want to figure it out. Well, actually, I'm very happy that I was able to get rid of those global variables because I'm not about that. I'm really not trying to have that. Them global variables. I look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys. You're totally right. I am so beautiful. Who will win? 37 years of C programming or forgetting equals 0? I'm gonna guess forgetting equals 0, probably. That's on me, dog. Yeah, so what the heck was I doing? I was like, oh, let's put some tiles up in this piece, you know? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think the problem I was facing was that I couldn't really come up with a good way to like map object coordinates to tile coordinates, because for some reason they give you like tile ID from tiled instead of the actual like thing we care about. Like, it would make more sense if tiled returned like the actual coordinates for tile in space and not just the tile ID, because yeah, otherwise it makes you have to kind of translate it. You have to translate the object layer, which does give you the actual XY width and height coordinates in space, right? Because if you want to create an entity like I'm doing here with our put, creating some obstacle entities, if you want to have the tile set that this covers, you kind of have to like work backwards instead of just looking it up from the information. I suppose it's more compact to just pass the tile ID, but it's not very useful. Now is it? Hmm. Okay, let me take a look at the tile ID then. Or the tile information. JSON. Oh, hey, Ball City, what's up? Morning. Yeah, there was also another idea I had of just creating like a background entity or like a layer entity. So this is kind of like how this is actually how like the Game Boy Advance works. It kind of has like different layers of tiles that you can have, and then you have a sprite layer on top of that, basically. So that was one approach I thought of. And that's probably the approach that Tiled assumes people are going to take, is to just create like a tile layer and render them out. But I'm not sure I want to do that. So we're not going to be able to easily create moving tiles unless they are part of the sprite layer. You don't know what's more impressive, my beauty or my coding skills? Do I really exude such beauty, such opulence? Is that the right word? Opulence? Absolutely. 100%. Okay. I believe you. 100%. Hmm. I mean, at some point, yeah, if sprites if tiles need to be act like sprites anyways, at some point we just kind of have to. I think the solution is probably to have two things: a tile layer and a sprite layer, probably. We might even want a couple of tile layers so we can do some like parallax scrolling. Need some tags on tiles. Yes, so what I was thinking is actually bringing some stuff into. Well, you can tag different objects as different things. So I thought about creating like yeah, just like putting a point on a map, and then this is where the player spawns. Kind of dealio. Let's say we did render every tile layer. Maybe it doesn't matter unless the platforms move. I kind of want to try and like figure out the moving platform stuff first though. In which case, we really just need to do math. right? I just need a function that converts object information to tile information, I guess. So we have hey Enzo. I think the tile, yeah, the width and height is here in each of the layers, so that's good. Layer, we have the layer information, and we iterate through the layer. This is the data, okay. 0 equals continue because there's nothing there. And then where's layer? Layer width and layer height. Width and height. So I'm trying to think. We have each tile's width and height here. So we should be able to do math, maybe. And what's funny is I thought I looked kind of ugly this morning, so you guys are kind of helping my ego. Helping my ego really good here. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm thinking about this backwards. Maybe there's like drawn paper. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but maybe this is the wrong approach for this, right? Like if a platform is well, I still need to compose tiles into larger sprites. Actually, no, what the heck am I doing? I just thought of it. It just hit me. Yeah, no, this is stupid. What am I doing? I don't need to do any of this, actually. I have the object's width and height right here, right? I'll just use that. I'll pass that to the render component and use that as the source rectangle as a view over the tile image. Because they share the same space coordinates, right? So I should just be able to like pass that in and have like the view. And then for the tile layers, I can have something later on, like an actual tile layer, and I can do the whole this like insanity of going through each of these numbers you see here, this insanity, and drawing those as part of the tile layer. But for now, I should be able to just do, yeah, what am I doing? What was it? I Frig, that's funny. I had the solution like right in front of me. Okay, let's go to obstacle. Obstacle.h, sick. We love header files. Play state. Okie doke. So now I need to change the renderer. Do I want to create a rectangle here, or do I want to pass the coordinates to create a rectangle? I guess I'll just pass the information here. I do want Rectangle. Sauce. PC sauce equals stuff. This should work, right? Even still, like, I still don't remember how to instantiate C code, like, ever. Oh, it's rectangle, not rectange. Sounds like bad French. Okay, the only error I have is... No, that's an error. Expected expression. You know what? Fine. Screw it. Sauce.y equals y. Sauce.width equals width. And sauce.height equals height. Just ask Al Bundy. Yeah, why didn't I think of this before? Oh, yeah, I should have put the struct name before. What am I thinking? I've only had one cup of coffee this morning. This one. Yeah, be careful, Brutal Sky. You might catch a ban. I don't want that to happen for you. Where's player.h at? I need to see some player.h code. Okie dokes. I need a texture up in this piece. Texture 2D. Texture. Oh, I'm also gonna need a vector and junk, I think. No, I won't. That's fine. Also, another annoying thing about setting up a streaming account on my computer. For some reason, none of my things are here. Ghosty is installed, but it's not set to using Z Shell. Everything is like all like not good. Like it's all broken. Today I seen content creator on TikTok who streamed an interior of a house for sale, and I was really happy seeing it. Yeah, I see lots of stuff like that on the internet, especially Instagram. Right, Ellis. Resources. Oh, I don't actually have the tile image in there, so I need the image. That's kind of funny. I never had the tile image in here to begin with. Classic. Classic. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to open tiled and stuff. Give me a second, guys. File. Export as image. Perfect. We'll call it test level. Only include visible layers. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Go, go, go. I want to know what the images looks like here. Okay. Oh, it drew the object layer. That's kind of awkward. All right, let's get rid of the object layer. That's kind of weird to draw For render, export as image, export, replace it. Oh, these are not, okay, that's funny. Some of these are not tiles like I thought they were. You can kind of see the little micro curves in the sprite. That's funny. Okay, so great, perfect. Each level is gonna have different things. So actually this needs to be passed in as well, right? Doesn't it? Each level is gonna have different stuff. So level, and then I don't know how to concatenate strings in C anymore. String something? Oh, string.h. Good old string.h, it would seem. Safer bounded approach. Nah. I'm not gonna concat. I will just pass it. Because I'm lazy. And that's fine. That's you ego some more, head pat. I don't know how you would approach this. Tiles 2 sprites. Yeah, it's fine. I'll figure it out. Yeah, so each doohickey is gonna need to have the level passed in. Uh-huh. We have our source. Sauce. Okay. We don't even really need this anywheres. But that's fine. We'll keep it. Go to the play state and go grab that information. Okay. And the string is resources. Test level dot png, I think it was. Okay. Will it build though? Oh. Hmm. Oh, this is the physics component. Wait, no, it's not. Oh, I'm not using the render component here. That's why. Gotta love that. Obstacle render component. Orc. Let's call it orc. We have to downcast self, right? Orc. Oops. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, it's called sauce, like SRC, not source. Okay. I definitely think I did something wrong. What kind of game? It's a platformer. Am I from the US? No, I'm from Canada. Canada. Okay, what am I missing? Player.h. Hmm. Uh, okay. Do I have this backwards, maybe? I know what the I know what the arrow operator does. I'm just trying to think which one is the viewport into the Wait, was there an error? Texture loaded successfully. I only see one texture thing loaded successfully. Okay, not seeing any errors, but we're also not rendering anything, so resources, test level.png. I feel like I have this backwards. Texture Pro Raylib. Let's see. Source destination. Crop that specific portion of your image. You want to drill the whole texture, set this to texture with texture height. Okay. So I think the source is correct. They're not exactly equal now, are they? Hmm. How big is this image? $2,800 by 1750. Hmm. I wonder if I could do. Let me see if I can just squeeze the whole image in there for now. It's gonna look really dumb, but it'll hopefully it will tell us that something is working. No. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, so that didn't work for some reason. Why is the star on the function name? Because it's it returns a render component. I'm doing virtual tables. This is successfully loading. Actually, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. Because I wanted to pass in a texture here. Texture 2D. Well, no, okay, I'll fix that in a bit. Because I didn't want to load a texture 4 different times. I wanted to load one texture and then have viewports over it. But for some reason, the viewports aren't working. Is this your code? Yes. Why aren't the viewports working? There's no current, maybe? No. There is current, but there's nothing to it, so... Current, width, and height. Orc source dot x plus equals 1 source y plus equals 1. This kind of looks stupid, but I'm hoping this will eventually iterate over the object. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, it's const, that's why. Oh, good old const. Nothing beats that. Okay, I don't know why this texture isn't working then. I have no clue. I tried doing the whole texture, but it won't load for some reason. I feel like something is up. I see in the logs it's saying data loaded successfully. And texture loaded successfully. I just don't know why my rectangle over it isn't working. Ugh. Yet. Lisp enthusiast doing C. This is unexpected. Yeah, you did not see it coming. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. It's cool. Like, I'm looking at what I did for the player. The only thing I really did different for the player is that, well, it has a camera. and the source is just the entire image. Like, I could do that. For some reason I think the source is actually not being set. We use the whole texture image here, which is going to be huge, but whatever. It's fine. Is it? Yeah, it's 1750. She used the whole image, but it doesn't. It doesn't use the image at all. I feel like I had similar problems with the player. For some reason, I'm doing this with the player. I'm basically like that. Probably causing some memory stuff, I'm guessing. Good old memory stuff. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Yeah, it still just won't load the texture. Is the texture too big or something for Raylib? You would think it would say nah. You think it would be like nah. Too big, right? Macron would want to do it in assembly. Yeah, I just don't know why it won't create the viewport over. Here, maybe it's this. I will literally just hard code it for now and see. PNG. No, still nothing. I'm running out of ideas here. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I never set the texture. God damn it, that's embarrassing. That's fucking bad. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It doesn't look very good, but here, I'll show it to you. Actually, I want to go get my controller because I can't do this with the keyboard. It did work. I'm just a bozo. Oh my god. Classic. Classic Janetta. Classic Janetta. Yep, okay. Nope, don't want that. Okay, there we go. Alright, here it is. You can tell that the, I think the image, the object coordinates overshoot the, oops, overshoot it a bit, because you can, there's still like little bits of the background in there. Which is why I'm like, I don't know what's up with that. Maybe there needs to be a separate layer or something. Yeah, now it feels much more like a video game. So the green blocks. Now we just need blue sky in the background. We've got a best-selling Steam release. Except for the broken wall jumping. Did I miss the bagel smashing? Yeah, I crushed it earlier. I ate it so good. Yeah. Yeah, really, these should probably all be sprites after all, since the sprites... Or I could just have different layers. I probably could have just outputted one tile layer. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that instead. Hang on. Let me do that really quick. We'll just hide the background tile layer. And then I will export this. Export as image. Boom. Yes. Okay. Let's rebuild it. It's a little bit better. Not really, but here, I'll show. Don't worry, I'll show. Don't freak out. Oh. Okay. Nope. OBS is being annoying for some reason. Give me a second here. Yes, I'll have to try and carve out time to set up a streaming account on this PC so that I don't accidentally leak something trying to show you my stuff. Don't accidentally leak something again. Okay. Where is it? There we go. So it's a little bit better, but you can tell these are like blocks, you know? They're like not, these are not the tiles I thought they were. These are more like sprite blocks. Which is kind of funny. Now it feels a lot smoother. Wow. Well, that's interesting. We've got the rounded edges over here, but not over here. Yeah, the using objects for sprite. Yeah, I might just have to actually like hard code some of the sprite work instead of like doing like a viewport over the tile layer or whatever. Because clearly there's some information I'm not seeing in tiled that shows up in the texture when it's rendered. Oops. Neovim. Morning again. Well, yep. Hello, Shift 11. Using, no, I use Emacs. Putting with Emacs. Okay, so this is kind of cool. It's it's something, that's for sure. What if I go into tiled and replace all of the... Yeah, I used the wrong tile, so maybe I can fix this. Okay. Save as. Nope. Don't want that. Save as image. Export. Yes. Okay. Ah, much better. Feels like a video game now, chat room. OBS really doesn't like trying to capture the game when it's running for some reason. Like sometimes I've got to actually like close the game, rebuild it, and then try and capture it again. There. There, much better. Now if we had a little sprite, animated sprite, like with a running animation, could be pretty cool. Except I keep getting stuck on the wall there for some reason. Yeah, now it looks like a cohesive chunk of earth in the sky to jump around on. Nice and normal. Hardware description language? Dude, I actually want to get like a little FPGA and start messing around with it. It's been on my like mess around with list. Oh. The thing in C allows it's it's a Raylib. Right now I'm using Raylib. I'd like to learn some other actual graphics API like WebGL or OpenGL or whatever. Mm-hmm. Some FPGAs are so cool, just saying. I believe you. 100%. I believe you. On God. When I get my new computer, I want to put a little FPGA inside of it. If I ever get said computer. There are new computers? I didn't think that was a thing anymore. Yeah. That HDL transpiler was my bachelor thesis. First Polish syntax tree storage was my master's thesis. Ah, we like reverse Polish notation around here because that's basically Lisp. Oops. How does one learn FPGAs? Well, you can buy a relatively inexpensive FPGA and start making simple circuits with it. Like the one I was looking at, I think it's called the Cyped Tang Nano 20K. It has 20,000 logic cells and like 15,000 flip-flops in it. And apparently you can recreate like Game Boy circuitry with it and stuff. Not really anything more powerful than like Game Boy or whatever, but that's still pretty cool. Thanks for the gaming inspiration. Gonna get moving and work on my data structures. Awesome. I'm happy to hear it. That's a lot of flip-flops. Yeah, I mean, modern computers have a lot more flip-flops and latches and all that junk. But like with an FPGA, if you have like flip-flops, you can actually just like build latches and stuff, right? It's like SR latch. Memory segment. It's kind of a funny thing, a flip-flop. Any DSP blocks on the FP? I think there's just like one for the actual USB like serial stuff. Not anything you can really program. Here, I'll just link the one that I've been thinking about buying. I don't really know that much about FPGAs, so I'm kind of just like talking out of my ass here, but oh, it says many DSP units supporting 18-bit by 18-bit multiplication. It's pretty cheap, and you can even get it headless. So it's like a really small profile. You can buy them from Amazon for like $40 or something. All right, let's optimize this biatch a little bit. And instead of doing this, we're going to take this, we're going to pass it into this object so that we don't waste a bunch of memory. Means texture 2D T I don't know if that's a good idea to do that. Thinking about memory management and junk. Oh, I see. Load texture, resources, test, level. So I think in the grand scheme of things, each level will probably have its own play state. It'd be kind of like an overarching play state with like a world map of all the like levels. You know, very classic like Mario style platformer. Mario 3 style platformer, and then whenever the player enters one of these levels, we just move to that level's play state. So in a weird way, the play state I'm working on now is kind of like the test play state. Oh wait, what? Did I accidentally delete something? Okay, I must have. Low texture. Resources. Test level.png. Bam. My Raylib my only dependency? No, I've got a couple dependencies. So there's STB for like dynamic data structures, which has been making my life very easy lately. And then there's oh wait, I still don't want to do that. What am I doing? So there's STB and Qt for the tiled stuff. I'm using another library for Qt for like the tile junk. Sure, 2D equals load texture level. Okay, there we go. There we go. One texture, but several views over it. Perfect. More flip-flops there don't mean much by itself. What matters is how you use all that. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hello, I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just gonna call you Zitty. How often do you use debug overlay during development? Debug overlay? There's not really a debug overlay. Oh, Tyler. I didn't even see. Good catch, baby Jack. There's no real debug overlay. If I want a debugger, I gotta attach a debugger. Like step through it and all that junk. 07s. 07, 07. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday. We have our all-day stream tomorrow, don't we? Keep forgetting that Canada Day was just like in the middle of a week. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. It's fine. Ay, ay, ay. I'm new. What are we making? I've been working on a game, a platformer. Kind of nice to have like a whole like level, you know? Instead of just like a single world or whatever. Single like few platforms, like design a whole level, like it's like thousands of pixels long or something. Many thousands, tens of thousands. Do I watch the World Cup? Not really. How deep into development are we? We are not that far, really. We got some physics going on. You know what I'm saying? Got some physics. Got some jumping and moving and stuff. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the current build. It's kind of like a test level, really. But yeah, this is basically it. Now I do kind of want to design like a whole level. We need like a death state though, and a finish state. Oops. So I need to think about how starting levels and starting and finishing levels will work. I think I have a pretty good idea, but which engine am I using? None. This is Raylib and C. So it'll probably run on like toasters and stuff. Nintendo's shaking in their boots. Yeah, I'm gonna get a cease and desist from Nintendo here soon. What I really would like to do is make web games, but I don't know how to make money from web games yet. See, again, how non-functional. Yeah, everybody seems to like the C programming though, because take them to Canadian court. Everybody seems to like the C programming for some reason. I have a bunch of ideas though for like just doing this is giving me ideas for like Clojure code games in Clojure I want to make. C is old school cool. Yeah. I'm kind of like really happy with how well it's gone so far cuz I did not expect this like vtable stuff to work out so well. Fuck. No. Trying to do the coveted ceiling jump here. No. Oh, no. Oh, almost. Gotta fix some of the physics stuff here. No. Fuck. Suck again. C stops being old school real quick when you have 20,000 lines of C89. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not doing C89. B tables in C on the N64 and 95. Back in the day. Oh, there we go. We were ceiling jumping there for a second. Yeah, good old ceiling jump. You can make a game with ClojureScript and WebGPU. Yeah, so Proto 7, Proto Sven. I actually that's usually what I do. Except I usually use Pixie.js, but I really want to learn WebGL. The problem is I don't know who on earth would actually like. I don't really know how to monetize web games, I guess, other than making them free to play and then sell like hats, you know? WebGL expert, it's fun. Yeah, like I kind of want to buy a book on WebGL so I can make my own like rendering library. I think like a ClojureScript native rendering library would be kind of ideal. No. Now you can do the C thing where you half implement half Lisp. No. If I wanted Lisp, I would just embed it with like the Janet programming language. Web games on platforms like Poki are all about ad revenue. Yeah, I don't. Poki's business model is different than like I know some people they have like free to play web games online, and then like they sell like cosmetics basically. Poki is not a good business model. It requires like so much traffic. I definitely wouldn't do Poki, I don't think. Put them on Electron and ship it? I thought about doing that. The only problem is like I don't know how to do file system access. How the frick do I spell cartridges? There we go. Yeah, apparently some Node APIs let you access the file system in with Electron. So the Electron might be an option. But then people are gonna be like, why does this like 2D game take up like a gigabyte of RAM? Like, yeah, but whatevs. No, not Electron. I don't know how to do. You can do it. Yeah, I know. Thanks to Anorax for the vote of confidence. Right, OpenGL and SM? No. Sup, Nil? Nil Pointer? Sup? Sup, Nil? Sup, B? Boy? Yeah, I tried Tori though. It doesn't really work. Supposed to be an XD? Yeah, Azrael. Hmm. I'm getting a little spacey here. Wait, what's this? Am I gonna regret clicking on this YouTube? Oh. Borat subsequent movie film. Stop. Hmm. Patty game journey continue. Great. What's next? Good question. SB Rebs. I'm not sure what's next. You know, I was thinking about just vibe coding until I get rich. That's how it works, right? You just sit on screen, watch a bunch of chat dialogues, and maybe one day you'll get rich from vibe coding. I think that's how that works. Seems to be how it works. People talk about it online, insufferably. Drop money on you? Probably not drop money on me. Getting rich part is mandatory. Otherwise, you're not allowed to code. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna spend like thousands of dollars on Claude Fable, which doesn't even exist anymore because it's secretly Opus 4.8, but nobody seems to think that. Which is kind of awkward. Nobody seems to. I mean, I like money too, but like, man. Mm-hmm. As human being, we don't live for money, but unfortunately, we need money to live. True. True that. I mean, I think at this point, I just want to be like self-employed in some fashion that I see fit. I think a lot of people want to get rich, but they don't actually, like I said, most people don't actually want to be rich. They just want freedom and purpose. But yeah, that's kind of the underlying subtext of like a lot of vibe coding is thinking that you're going to get wealthy. I mean, it's like when people on Twitter would say things like, I'm building my $100 million SaaS empire. And they don't even have like a real project doing revenue or something. It's that kind of shit. Hi chat. Hi streamer. Hi glowing orb around the corner. How do you do, true round? Hi Kim. I'll give you a shout out. This is Kim, Stroop Waffles. She streams DJing. She's gorge and just really cool. So I think everybody should follow her. Thanks for the shouty. Yeah, you're welcome, honey. Whoa, guys, is there a sale on gift subs right now? How come you guys haven't been gifting subs? What the heck? Well, except for Footlong. Thank you for the gift sub, Footlong. Everybody should follow me. I know. Like Queen Bee around here of the JK. JK. See your message about the Steam page? No, sorry. I basically have Discord on like mute because wait, this is your game? It's true? Or Kim? Whoa. I didn't even know that. Let me see. Is this your company's game? It does have EverQuest vibes. Oh my god, does it ever have EverQuest vibes? It's like EverQuest with if ray tracing was on. EverQuest with ray tracing is what it looks like. Contract with this company, but it's more so for legal reasons. Oh, I see. That's still cool though. You're a volunteer? Nah, girl, you gotta get paid. What game is this? Medieval Lands? Can I post it here? It looks like, yeah, it looks like EverQuest, but with ray tracing. It's a passion project for you. Okay, that's cool. I'm able to take a bit. No, I understand. I understand. Show us the game, please. Wait, the game that we're talking about or the game that I'm working on? The game I'm working on is on screen. Here, let's post this here. Definitely some stuff going on here. Embrace the nostalgia. Ghost Goats games. It's kind of like How I Met Your Mother. Boats, boats, boats. Super excited. The Steam page got published. Yeah, that's awesome. Good old Steam page. Steam powered. Diablo Quest-ish. Hi, Kai. Hi, honey. Kim was just telling us about her game. The game that she's been helping out with. Exciting. Do I even need... Wait a sec. I just realized, guys, I don't know if I actually even need to do... I feel like I could very easily create like a background layer very quickly by just having... Oh, this better not be a bad word in Cyrillic. Whatever this language is. Russian. Hello. Hey, RMC. Um, yeah, we could do background pretty easily, I think. A background tile layer, maybe. Because right now, all I have for the background layer is this like ugly thing going on. Parallax scrolling. Oof. Means hello. Yeah, I saw. I saw Ed. Also, hello. Hi, how are you, Ed? Good to see you. We got a lot of cool people on stream today. I'm going to grab dinner. Okay, Kim. on stunt in NYC yesterday. Oh, like the people that climbed the was it Empire State Building? Yes. Well, actually, yeah, it'd be really easy to draw a background if we just did. We don't even need an entity for it, really. Although it's probably fighting the framework to not have an entity. But if we go to like the PlayState draw, right before we draw all the entities, we can just draw a background right here. Ooh, Kim, you're gonna do some DJing? I'll be there. Everybody go follow Stroop Waffles for the DJing and the sexiness. Oops. Export as image. Test. Background. Easy. Export. Okay, now we gotta go back to the Codeliodes. For sexiness, we're in this channel. Stop. Girl, stop. I will wear appropriate clothing. Are we into GTA 7? Yeah, we're vibe coding GTA 7 here because it can do everything, allegedly. Including things that have never been done. Ever. See in game, are you hating your life? No, I just like viewership, so. And this shit gets the big viewership, you know? Gets the big viewership. Okay, I'm off to dinner. Okay. Bye, Kim. Bye. All right, let's check this out. Let's check this out. This is the init state, you know what I'm saying? We don't even need to do that. We can just be like background equals load texture. Bam. Resources. Test background. NG. That's not how you spell background. Yes, background. Low texture. And then get a little whiff of my hand because it smells good. Let's see. I have like Mario music stuck in my head, so. Yeah. Let's just dump this junk in here, I guess. Then this will be yes. And then the source will be angle source equals 0, 0 float. Texture dot width? No? Is there no texture dot width? I thought it was texture dot width. Well, that's not it. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's that. Wait, that's not right. What am I doing? This is background, not... I should have called it background texture or something. Oh, well. This needs to be... Is that it? Okay. Hopefully that's it. It's also not texture, it's background. Background, source can be source. I don't know if it's gonna work. We'll see. Did I actually misspell it? Yeah, I did. Back go rund. Nice. Oh wow, it actually worked. That's cool. All right, here I'll show you guys. It is super ugly, and the color palette does not match. There's no shadows. There's no anything. It's kind of an eyesore, but whatever. It's my eyesore, and that's what makes it special. Except OBS give me a hard time. Here, hang on. Hang on, are you hanging on? It's the suspense building. Anticipation, the hype. What the frig? Why is it so busted? Like, I really gotta figure out how to do... Like, I have to set aside time to set it. Like, it's just not showing up. Like, classic frickin' OBS, man. It's like, nah, the application ain't there. Okay. Great. This happened like last time. I just could not get the application to show up in OBS. There, finally. I don't know what the difference was, but it's there. So now it looks like... It looks actually kind of atrocious, but there's a background. Ooh, and it looks like parallax scrolling almost. Oh my god, that's crazy. That was not intentional whatsoever, but it does kind of look like parallax scrolling in a weird way. Well, not really. No, the background's not moving at all, actually. But because the background's not moving, when the blocks move on it, it looks a bit like parallax. You know? What you're working on? Yeah, is it parallax if there's just one lax? It's yeah, parallax scrolling would be better. Yeah, I'm working on a platforming game. Future Steam bestseller. JK. I don't think anybody would pay to play this even if I like got it to a much better state. Just kind of like Such a basic platformer. You know? But yeah, this is it. Kinda works. Kinda works. It's kinda cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's kinda cool. Like, I need a glass of water though, everyone, so if you would excuse me for a moment. Some candy here, so I want to have a few. I'm new to C. Can I watch? Of course. Huh. Okay, I'm not gonna eat too many of these because there's a lot of sugar. Say the difference between int constar and constar cons. You're right now you're banned. Blitzberg, I don't even know the difference, so do I have that closure game you were making in a repo somewhere? Yeah, but it's a private repo. Sorry, Ivan. Yeah. What's the current game's theme? Move fast. For some reason, I have Mario music in my head still. Mario 2. Something like that, yeah. Yep. Can we write C in closure real quick? Yeah, okay. I miss closure, but people don't like watching closure. They like C. I like watching C. They like to see me struggle. I guess I can just get rid of this now. It's not necessary. Boom. Gone. Get rid of some of the clankers comments because they're annoying. Yeah, I guess I don't even really need this, do I? Because I'm not even doing anything here except wasting memory. Assembly stream when? Good question. God, I haven't written assembly in so long. Clanker of choice. Sometimes I use Claude. Sometimes for technical stuff I'll use Claude. Other times I'll use ChatGPT for stuff. See new things in general. I wouldn't try to overthink that. Yeah, I guess so. We're also making a lot of progress. I think the thing about C is it's still relatively fresh for me too. It's like still relatively like new, novel, I guess. Not that I haven't written C before, but I do closure for my day job, right? And I do closure. I was doing closure on stream, and it just kind of felt like a lot of closure, and I was starting to feel like burned out, which is why I had like plenty of streams where I just like didn't really write any code. There was just code on screen, right? I think it was because I was feeling a bit burnt out. Hey Jay, what's up? Seems like going back to hieroglyphs. Switching out things you work on slaps. This is the way. Burned out too. I'm not even hitting my performance metrics I set for myself. Oh yeah, that's the hard thing. Guess I can just get rid of this for now. Less code, the better. Thinking of solo traveling a bit, but I think I'll never want to come back. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to come back. Of course, unless you have like a lifestyle that doesn't allow that. I am very into lifestyle design. Because the heat wave we were facing is so fucking warm. I know. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the fitness room after this, but I don't know how warm it is in the fitness room right now. The hallways in this building are unbearably hot. It's like stepping into like a sauna. You're unbearably hot. It's so humid that I have to run the dehumidifier like all day, and it still doesn't actually reach like the target humidity. That's how humid it is outside. It's insane. Rather cold in here in SF right now. Oh, lucky you, Footlong. Can't. And Toronto, at least we're experiencing, yeah, a heat wave. It says on my weather app, feels like 43. There's more wind today, though, so I'm guessing we have like hot. It's probably like a hot wind. It probably feels like a hot wind. 47 later. Yeah, crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff. The Dyson wind. Sounds terrible. Oh, it is. And the Blue Jays played a game in the hot sun yesterday. Take a walk later. Yeah, I don't I don't know about that, honey. Ah, good old platforming game. Nothing beats that. So wait, if I had hmm. Hmm. Maybe maybe levels don't need to be like a billion blocks by billion blocks, do they? I feel like they could. It'd probably be smaller though. Smaller than that. Hella dry though somehow when it comes to humidity. Optic fusion. Yeah, Footlong's not grinding. Footlong has got the funding. Oh. Hmm. Chat room. Are we render yet? Yes. Maybe I should just sell vibe coded crap to other vibe coders and then, you know, I can make a bunch of money that way and stream all day instead of having to do like a bunch of stuff all the time. Hmm. Raylib, yes. Vibe coders spent all their money on tokens. Good idea. Yeah. What's the game about? It's just a simple platformer. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'd like to start exercising in the mornings before I do anything, but it's just kind of hard to get up early for me because I don't sleep well. Like, I literally got out of bed like maybe 20 minutes before I started this stream. Hey, Shader Theory. Soul. Oh, Footlong, thanks for the gift sub. Could all learn a lesson from Footlong. Oh, you know what I have to do also? I need to switch my tip jar because apparently SE Pay is like going away. I'm guessing because Stream Elements is struggling right now. So that sucks. Is the company Jane Street mine? No. If I own Jane Street, which I think it's actually like a co-op or something, but if I owned Jane Street, I would be super filthy rich. Janet Street. It's the origin of the term vibe coding. Oh, go look at what's his name? The guy, yeah, and Andre Karpathy or whatever. Wow, Jane Street has a ton of open roles right now. They are probably very hard jobs though. Linux engineer, that's kind of cool. All based in New York. Oh wait, they have other locations. But I think the closest to me is New York. Linux engineer can't be that hard. Yeah, it looks practical experience with modern Linux systems and systems programming concepts like C, sockets, virtual memory, and process lifecycle. Okay. Virtual memory? What are they doing with Linux? That's the real question here. Tips for pricing consulting jobs. I'm having trouble not underselling myself. Yeah, just do whatever you think, however you think it will take you, and then like pad it, like probably 2x or something. You think you're gonna like do something in a week or two? Well, if I think I can do something in 2 weeks, I usually estimate for like 3 weeks. Anywhere from 1.5 times to 2 times, depending on how comfortable you feel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Art of Unix programming. Why don't I try OpenGL instead of C for a game? You still need to have some program to call OpenGL from. OpenGL is not a programming language. OpenGL isn't a graphics API. But you can call from most languages anyways. Why C and not C++? Because chat said, why don't you write some C for 100 gift subs? That's why. Also, it's been kind of fun to write C. A lot more fun than writing C++ can be. Yeah, I need to reset the sub counter, but Exhibit A, white shirt. White crop top even. My belly. Where are all the parens? I know. I kind of miss Clojure a little bit. No, I'll admit. A lot of software dev. I do front end 3D dev, and I still do a lot of programming. I want to learn a WebGL, basically. The WebGL has C code most. Well, the GLSL, like a OpenGL shader language, is C based. It's like a very C like language. For 100K, you need to learn Vulkan. Oh my god. Web GPU tutorial the other day. C for shaders, 3GS, Babylon, WebGL, and OpenGL. I see. I've messed around with 3JS a bit on stream before. That was kind of fun. That was actually a kind of fun project. Rust WGPU tutorial to revisit. Web GPU. Interesting. Is WebGPU well supported on like browsers? Hmm. Yeah, interesting. I'm not even sure if it's worth it to learn WebGL. Well, I want to learn WebGL so that I can create my own 2D rendering library for a ClojureScript. So I to refresh a bit. Just hit the mute button on my keyboard. Derp. Damn. Compatible with the Chromium browser ecosystem. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Being a Linux engineer can't be a fun job, can it? I bet it could, actually. I just wonder what they're doing where they actually need like somebody so like technical and specialized. You know? 2D or 2.5D is the question. Visualization and concept art, not SE. Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Um, Battle Gnome. Because in the past you've said, I'm a Gen X advertising creative, and then said something kind of uncool. Yeah, your message history. It's fine though. Be surprised to learn that Jane Street hires kernel engineers. I guess like, yeah, they're like an algo trading firm, right? So they probably want things to be super super fast as possible. Crazy hot path type stuff, right? For their OCaml shenanigans. Oh. Okay. All right. Um, it's time for me to go. High frequency trading. Yeah. It's time for me to go. We should be able to have our all day stream tomorrow though. Thanks, Soul. Now we use Go. Hmm. Oh, Judy. Thanks for the 14 months of tier 3. That's some huge support. I didn't even know you were in the chat. Don't leave us. I know, I'm sorry, but I need to go work out and I need to do a bunch of other things today. So, I don't know, buy some subscriptions or something. Maybe I can quit my job someday. Lurking and working. Okay. Who should we raid? Should we raid somebody? Speaking of Linux, this person has Linux tags, so let's go raid them. I feel like we raided Zed recently, and Zed raided us recently. Pog Linux. Good old VTuber here. All right. Yeah, hopefully I'll de-stream tomorrow. Very likely. Nice seeing you today. Nice seeing you, Footlong. Thank you for the gift subs. All of them. Yeah. Tomorrow let's implement, I don't know, something in the game. working towards being able to actually flush this out. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome. I will see you guys tomorrow.